What's up YouTube, Capital G? Here is your body ready because this is going to be colossal. This is going to be big, and I hope that you are prepared because this is, oh man, I'm not exactly sure I can actually grasp and take this all in. I said in my last video that Savage Strike looks like it could be, without a doubt, one of the best sets in the entire Vrains era, and even though I'm basing that just on 2 cards, I really believe that that is a strong possibility. We are getting a new pot card in this set as well, and let me just give you guys a quick history lesson for some of you maybe who don't know this, but the last time that we got a pot card and a solemn card in the same set, that would be Duelist Revolution during the 5Ds era. We got Solemn Warning, which was so good that it's limited to 1, and we got Pot of Duality, which made pretty much every anti-meta deck in the game viable. Anti-meta shortly after that ended up winning a YCS, and both of those cards ended up eventually being over $100 a copy. So this could be something that we have not seen for a very long time, because I think that that was about 2010ish, so we're talking almost a decade. Savage Strike will not be released in the TCG until 2019, so yeah, it'll be kind of on that 10-year gap essentially. But this is actually really big, and you guys remember the last time we got a big pot card in the TCG? That would be Breaker of Shadows. Holy shit, I'm trolling. Quick correction on that. That would be the Dark Illusion, not Breaker of Shadows. Okay, back to the video. And Pot of Desires, that card was absolutely phenomenal. It was incredibly divisive. I'll definitely have to admit that. Even me, I'm more on the line to the side of, I like Pot of Desires, but I don't really like playing it that much because I value the consistency of my decks. Like an Ultra Geist, I don't even mess with Desires, dude. That card will just fuck up your deck. You'll banish all your Sequidius, you won't be able to win. But the card is fantastic, and you see why people play it, because it just gets you 2 cards. And I've said that people are generally willing in Yu-Gi-Oh to give their right nut to draw 2 to 3 cards. Look at Pot of Desires, look at Card of Demise. If this card lets you do that, or lets you do anything close to that, you're probably going to be seeing this in a whole lot of decks. And the fact that it references Pot of Greed on one side and then Pot of Riches on the other, I think that probably means that this is going to have a draw 2 effect, because both of those cards let you draw 2. Very similar. How, if you guys remember, Pot of Desires references Pot of Greed on one side and Pot of I was gonna say Duality, Pot of Avarice. It's been banned for that long, I barely remember the damn card. It has Pot of Avarice on one side and Pot of Greed on the other side. Both of these cards let you draw 2, so this card ended up letting you draw 2, so I wonder if that's what Konami's kind of doing here with this new pot card that we don't know exactly what it does and we don't know its name. Now, the interesting thing is, Pot of Riches was a card that never really caught on, and it's, I think, mostly to do with the fact that it's completely pendulum based. And I mean, yeah, it's a pretty nice effect, shuffle a whole bunch of pendulum monsters from your graveyard or from your extra deck back into your main deck, and then you get to draw a couple of cards. It's a hard once per turn, and you can't special summon except for pendulum monsters during that turn. I think, well, what's it called? You can't special summon except the pendulum summon. I think that really hurt the card moving into like the Vrains era, because every deck needs to be able to kind of link summon nowadays, especially with Electromite. But this card never caught on because it wasn't a card that you could use for the masses. It wasn't like Pot of Greed or Pot of Avarice or Pot of Desires. You can throw those cards in a multitude of decks. Pot of Riches, you can only play this in pendulum deck, so that really hurt its playability. Obviously, the speculation online has already begun. I haven't been on Reddit yet, but I'm pretty sure if people are talking about this on Facebook, then you know that people are talking about it on Reddit and on message boards and whatnot. I'm thinking, well, some people are just coming up with like ridiculous effects, man. I thought of a couple of them that I'd like to share. Both of them are just utterly kind of crazy and troll. One of them was draw until you have 5 cards in your hand, banish the rest of your entire deck face down. I love that, because essentially it would be like last turn built into a draw spell. Like, it would be 100% you have to win that turn or you lose the duel. Like, I kind of like that concept. I'm not exactly sure if Konami would be down with that, because they generally don't like those type of cards, those cards that like force you into like winning that turn or you lose, hence why Last Ban got banned a long time ago. Also, it creates ties. Konami hates ties. And then another one which I actually thought was troll but could actually be kind of useful It wouldn't be anything with banishing cards, no Pot of Desires or anything like that where you have to give up a left nut or an arm to activate it. It would just be you activate the card and you draw 2 cards from your opponent's deck. I think that would be so incredibly funny. I think that would be awesome. And you know what? That would have so many great applications in a mirror match. I mean, imagine you're going first, right? Goki mirror match, you activate, you know, I guess let's just call it Pot of Takeness or something like that. You activate your Pot of Takeness, you draw 2 cards from your opponent's deck, and you're like, all right, give me that fucking Goki rematch. Give me that instant fusion. I'm gonna pop off now. Even if you were playing like an Altergeist mirror match, I mean, drawing your opponent's Sequidius, or no, actually, I'd probably want something different. Drawing your opponent's Marionetter to be able to just normal summon that and get the effect off. Drawing your opponent's Altergeist Protocol or your opponent's Solemn Warning, like that would be amazing. So I could definitely see something like that being pretty cool. Make it a hard once per turn, of course. You know that that's going to be built into pretty much any of the pot cards moving forward. But yeah, I kind of like that idea. Draw 2 cards from your opponent's deck. No like strings attached or anything other than the hard once per turns. But obviously, I got to ask you guys' opinion. What do you think this new pot card is going to do? Leave it in the comment section below. Are you guys excited? Because as I said before, the last time we got a Solemn Counter Trap and a pot card in the same set, that was about 8 years ago. Both of those cards were incredibly like impactful on the meta, and they both ended up being about $100 each. The Solemn card, Solemn Warning, reaching upwards of $120, and then Pot of Duality reaching, well, yeah, it was about, you know, $120 as well. I honestly think that 2 of the secret rare spots from this set are already taken with these 2 cards. Konami is not going to give us any more Solemns unless there's secrets. And if the, you know, pot card is good, I'm pretty sure it's going to be secret a la Pot of Desires as well. So whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.